That one daily habit you cherish could be silently enlarging your prostate without you ever realizing it. Welcome, my friends. Professor Vitalis here with your daily dose of wisdom and wellness, where science and experience walk hand in hand. Prostate problems are one of the most common concerns I hear from men over 60. Many assume it's an unavoidable part of aging, a fate they simply have to accept. They notice the signs, the frequent trips to the bathroom, the frustratingly weak stream, or being woken from a deep sleep in the middle of the night. But here is the fundamental truth that I want you to understand today. It is not always about your age. It is about your daily habits. It's about the silent, cumulative effect of the choices you make every single day. As a researcher and a guide to many on their wellness journey, I have seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s living with complete comfort and vitality simply because they addressed these habits. And I have also seen others who, by ignoring these subtle red flags, found themselves facing significant discomfort and medical interventions. This isn't about fear. This is about empowerment. It's about giving you the knowledge and the tools to protect your own health. So let us count down the 10 everyday habits that may be slowly, silently enlarging your prostate. And I must warn you, the number one habit is the one most people overlook, yet it is by far the most powerful. By the end of our talk today, you will have a clear, actionable plan to support your prostate health naturally and safely. So please, listen closely, and perhaps share this with a friend or brother who might benefit from this wisdom. Let's begin with habit number 10. Ignoring your thirst and staying dehydrated. You might think that drinking less water means fewer bathroom trips, especially at night. It seems logical, doesn't it? But this strategy is a classic example of a short-term solution creating a long-term problem. When you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated. Think of it like a dense, dark liquid full of metabolic waste products. This concentrated urine acts as an irritant to the sensitive lining of your bladder. Now, understand the anatomy here. Your prostate gland sits directly beneath your bladder like a cushion. When your bladder is irritated and stressed, it transmits that stress and inflammation directly to its neighbor, the prostate. Chronic dehydration, day after day, creates a state of chronic inflammation, which is a key driver of prostate enlargement, or what we call benign prostatic hyperplasia. Many common medications for older adults also have a diuretic effect, meaning they cause you to lose water. If you aren't consciously replacing those fluids, the problem is compounded. Furthermore, a dehydrated body cannot effectively flush out toxins, which can build up in the urinary tract, adding even more strain. The solution is beautifully simple. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. By then, you are already dehydrated. Keep a glass of water nearby and take small sips throughout the day. Your goal should be urine that is a pale, light yellow color. Think of water not as the cause of your bathroom trips, but as a gentle, natural shield, calming your bladder and protecting your prostate. Next, habit number 9. Sitting for long hours without movement. Many of us enjoy our comfortable recliners or spend hours at a desk. But this prolonged stillness is quietly doing harm. When you sit for extended periods, you exert constant pressure on your pelvic floor and the blood vessels that supply this entire region. This pressure is like stepping on a garden hose. It restricts the vital flow of blood to your prostate. Over time, this poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching the prostate tissue, while waste products are not efficiently removed. The result? Inflammation and eventually enlargement. It's not just about circulation. Your pelvic floor muscles, which support the bladder and help control urination, weaken from inactivity. A weak pelvic floor makes it much more difficult to empty your bladder completely. This leads to what's called residual urine, a small amount left behind after you think you're finished. This stagnant pool of urine is a perfect breeding ground for irritation and infection, further aggravating the prostate. But you don't need to run a marathon. The solution is micro movements. Set a simple timer. Stand up every 30 minutes. Walk around for just 1 or 2 minutes. Do a gentle stretch. This simple act restores blood flow, relieves the pressure, and keeps those pelvic muscles engaged. Don't let a sedentary life create a noisy health problem down the road. Let's move on to habit number 8, drinking too much caffeine. That morning cup of coffee or afternoon tea is a ritual for so many, and in moderation, it's often fine. The problem arises with excess consumption throughout the day. Caffeine has a two-pronged effect on your urinary system. First, it is a well-known diuretic. It signals your kidneys to produce more urine, filling your bladder more quickly and increasing the frequency of your bathroom visits. For a man with an already enlarged prostate, this is simply adding fuel to the fire. But the second effect is more subtle and more damaging. Caffeine is also a bladder irritant. It can cause the smooth muscles of the bladder wall to contract more often and more urgently, leading to that sudden, gotta go now feeling. Furthermore, caffeine can tighten the muscles at the neck of the bladder, the very opening through which urine must pass. This creates a bottleneck effect, making it physically harder to empty your bladder completely. This again leads to residual urine and chronic strain on the prostate. If you're having multiple cups of coffee, strong tea, or heaven forbid, energy drinks, you are putting your urinary system under constant siege. The key is moderation. Try switching to decaffeinated coffee or a calming herbal tea like chamomile after your first cup. This small adjustment can give your prostate the peace it needs to heal. Habit number 7, a daily diet of spicy and processed foods. Flavor makes life enjoyable, but certain types of flavors can silently harm your prostate. Heavily spicy foods, particularly those containing capsaicin like chili peppers and hot sauces, can trigger a systemic inflammatory response in your body. If your prostate is already sensitive or enlarged, this can directly lead to increased irritation and swelling. While an occasional spicy meal is unlikely to cause a problem, a regular diet of it can keep your prostate in a constant state of agitation. Even more insidious, however, are processed foods. These are the foods that come in boxes, bags, and freezer packages. They are loaded with sodium, unhealthy fats, chemical preservatives, and artificial flavors. High sodium intake causes your body to retain water, raising blood pressure and putting more strain on your entire urinary system. The unhealthy fats and chemical additives disrupt your delicate hormonal balance, particularly the metabolism of testosterone, which is a major factor in prostate health. Over time, a diet rich in foods like processed meats, frozen dinners, and fast food creates a trifecta of problems: chronic inflammation, weight gain, and hormonal chaos, all of which are major risk factors for prostate enlargement. Start by making one simple swap. Instead of a packaged meal, choose something fresh. Focus on anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, colorful berries, and healthy fats from avocados and nuts. Your diet doesn't have to be bland. It just needs to be a source of healing, not harm. Now, for habit number 6, holding your urine for too long. We've all done it. We're in the middle of something important, far from a restroom, and we decide to just hold it. But making this a regular habit is one of the most mechanically damaging things you can do to your urinary system. When you consistently hold urine, you force your bladder to stretch beyond its normal capacity like an overinflated balloon. This chronic stretching weakens the bladder muscle over time, making it less effective at contracting and emptying completely. And remember the anatomy. This overstretched, strained bladder is pushing down directly onto your prostate. This constant mechanical pressure creates irritation and inflammation in the prostate tissue itself. For older men, whose bladder and prostate muscles may already be weakening with age, this habit is particularly destructive. It virtually guarantees that you will leave stagnant urine behind in the bladder, creating that perfect environment for bacterial growth, which can lead to urinary tract infections that further inflame the prostate. So, listen to your body's signals. When you feel the first urge to go, honor it. It's a simple, respectful act that protects the delicate partnership between your bladder and prostate. This brings us to a serious one. Habit number 5, smoking or inhaling secondhand smoke. There is almost no habit more destructive to your overall health, and your prostate is no exception. The thousands of toxic chemicals in cigarette smoke, like cadmium and benzene, are absorbed into your bloodstream and act as poison to your entire body. They constrict blood vessels, dramatically reducing blood flow to the prostate. They trigger massive inflammation, and most critically, they cause immense oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as your body's cells rusting from the inside out, losing their ability to function and repair themselves. This cellular damage can directly lead to prostate inflammation, enlargement, and even increases the risk of more serious prostate diseases. The longer your exposure, the more the damage accumulates. Smoking also depletes your body of essential antioxidants, like vitamin C, which are your natural foot soldiers against this kind of damage. And let me be clear, even if you don't smoke, regularly being around secondhand smoke is also harmful. If you are a smoker, please speak with your doctor. There are so many tools available today to help you quit. The benefits begin almost immediately. Within weeks, your circulation will improve, inflammation will begin to subside, and your body, including your prostate, will begin the miraculous process of healing. Habit number 4. Skipping regular health screenings. Many men operate on the principle of, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. They avoid the doctor unless they are in pain or something feels terribly wrong. This is a dangerous philosophy when it comes to prostate health because the initial stages of enlargement are often completely silent. Regular checkups are not about looking for problems. They are about maintaining wellness. A simple annual visit can reveal the earliest signs of inflammation or growth, long before they cause you any symptoms. Procedures like a digital rectal exam or a PSA blood test are simple, quick, and powerful tools of prevention. They give you and your doctor a baseline, a snapshot of your health that allows you to catch any changes early on. I know some men feel uncomfortable or embarrassed discussing these topics, but I urge you to see it as an act of profound self-respect and responsibility. The earlier an issue is identified, the more options you have. And often, those options are simple lifestyle changes, not medications or surgeries. Proactive care is the single wisest habit any man can adopt. And before we continue, let me share a tool that aligns with this proactive mindset. Knowledge is power, but data is the key that unlocks it. Many have found great benefit in using tools like the Senior Health Tracker, a simple app designed to help you monitor your own data, your fluid intake, your bathroom habits, your symptoms. When you see your doctor, presenting them with consistent data is invaluable. It transforms a vague complaint into a clear picture they can work with. An app designed for men over 60 can be a powerful guide, and I'll place a link in the description for those who are interested. It's a way to become an active participant in your own health journey. Now, for habit 3. Eating too much red meat. A steak or a burger might be a dietary staple, but a high daily intake of red and processed meats is strongly linked to prostate problems. Research clearly shows that diets high in red meat, especially processed forms like bacon, sausage, and deli meats, contribute significantly to systemic inflammation. A key culprit is a compound called arachidonic acid, which your body converts into inflammatory messengers. Furthermore, the saturated fats and chemical preservatives used in processing can disrupt your hormonal balance and increase that cellular rust of oxidative stress. For older adults, digestion naturally slows down. Red meat is particularly challenging for the body to break down, which can contribute to sluggishness, weight gain, and increased pressure in the pelvic region. You don't need to eliminate it entirely. The principle is reduction, not deprivation. Try cutting back your red meat intake to just once or twice a week. On other days, swap in lean anti-inflammatory proteins like wild-caught fish, lentils, beans, or grilled chicken. Explore the rich world of plant-based meals. Your body will reward you with less inflammation, better energy, and a happier prostate. Habit number 2. Carrying too much belly fat. As we age, that excess weight around the midsection is far more than a cosmetic issue. It is a metabolic warning sign. Visceral fat, the fat that surrounds your internal organs, is not just passive storage. It is an active endocrine organ, constantly pumping out inflammatory chemicals, called cytokines, that circulate throughout your entire body, including your prostate. This creates a state of chronic low-grade inflammation that directly irritates the prostate and contributes to its growth. Men with a larger waistline, generally over 40 inches, are significantly more likely to suffer from an enlarged prostate and its associated urinary symptoms. This abdominal fat also wreaks havoc on your hormones. It contains an enzyme called aromatase, which converts your healthy testosterone into estrogen. This hormonal imbalance is a key driver of prostate cell growth. The solution is not a crash diet. It's about slow, steady, sustainable progress. A brisk daily walk, reducing your portion sizes, cutting back on sugar and refined carbohydrates, these simple steps will begin to melt away that dangerous belly fat. Even losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can bring remarkable relief from urinary symptoms. Trim down the weight around your middle, and you will reduce the stress on your entire system. And now, we arrive at the number one habit, the one that is most often ignored, yet holds the most power over your prostate health: not managing chronic stress. This is the silent enemy. When you are in a state of constant tension, anxiety, or worry, your body is flooded with the stress hormone cortisol. For short-term threats, this is a lifesaver. But when it becomes chronic, cortisol is a poison. It fuels systemic inflammation, disrupts hormonal balance, and suppresses your immune system. But for the prostate, the effect is also mechanical. Stress causes you to tighten your pelvic floor muscles, often unconsciously. Imagine a tense fist clenching all day long. This is what happens in your pelvis. This chronic tension creates a clamp around your prostate, restricting blood flow and irritating the delicate nerves in the area. Seniors often carry a heavy burden of quiet stress, financial worries, health concerns, family issues. It all adds up, and your prostate bears the brunt of it, resulting in more frequent urination, urgency, and swelling. But the beautiful news is that you have direct control over this. The antidote is profound, yet simple. Daily deep breathing exercises, a gentle walk in nature, stretching, or even just 10 minutes of quiet meditation can dramatically lower your cortisol levels. Laughter is medicine. Social connection is medicine. Deep restorative sleep is medicine. Managing your stress isn't a luxury. It is a non-negotiable part of healing your body from the inside out. This one single shift can have a more profound impact on your symptoms and prostate health than almost anything else. Now that you know these 10 habits, the power is in your hands. What will you do with this knowledge? These are not small, insignificant tweaks. They are powerful levers that can prevent years of discomfort and sleepless nights. If you are over 60, the time to be proactive is now. Don't wait for the symptoms to become unbearable. Start with just one habit this week. Drink one more glass of water. Take a 10-minute walk. Choose fish instead of sausage. Every single action you take matters. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal, but it needs your help. It needs you to create the right conditions. Knowledge only works when you apply it. I'm Professor Vitalis. Stay curious, stay healthy, and never stop learning.